So
Oh,
you have 15 maximum of 15 minutes to present your presentation. And after that, we will proceed on the Q&A portion.
of course. Confirming if you can my screen now.
Yeah, you need to ayan, okay na pala. Can you open your camera?
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bill Lona Resurrection, and for today, I'll be presenting to you the proposed research plan, which is a two-phase approach, which is I titled it Assessing and Improving Strawberry Supply Chain in Car, a two-phase approach in mapping and optimization. Um, for the introduction, strawberry production here in Car is not just limited in La Trinidad Benguet, but it also has some small holder farmers from Buguias, Kibungan, and Bauco, which are all located in Car. At the same time, La Trinidad Benguet is the strawberry capital of the Philippines. It is also known that the strawberry picking season at La Trinidad Strawberry Farm peaks from November to May. So it's actually at this time of year that most of our farmers actually harvest the peak times where strawberries are at their top production. The average production of strawberries in La Trinidad is around 11.44 metric tons during the season from December to April. That sense, there are three identified perhaps issues that we have, uh, research that I had researched, and found out that one, supply chain inefficiencies and sustainability issues are rampant. So the strawberry industry in Baguio and Car struggles with logistical inefficiencies, limited value addition, and sustainability concerns, which have worsened post-pandemic. There is also climate and environmental impact where severe weather events such as Typhoon Ega in 2013 have caused millions of agricultural losses, damaging strawberry farms and increased wastage. And lastly, for the infrastructure and flooding problems, recurring farm flooding remains unresolved, leading to unnecessary strawberry losses that could be prevented through better manufacture and flood control measures. So these are just some of the issues that we had so far with concerning the production of strawberries and being supplied to a lot of markets here in the Philippines. In this case, perishability remains a major challenge, requiring efficient logistics and, of course, and cold storage facilities. In the Philippines, particularly in Baguio and Benguet, strawberry farming is a key economic activity, yet the industry faces high post-harvest losses due to inadequate supply chain management. This is according to DA or Department of Agriculture CAR last 2022 in their study. There are also challenges in the supply chain, which is highlighted, and Gonzalez uh, and company found out that 30 to 40% of the strawberry produce in Benguet goes to waste due to market saturation and lack of storage facilities. In the same report, or in the same, supporting that, Rivera and Tan reported that less than 20% strawberry farmers in Car have access to proper refrigeration, leading to rapid spoilage. And lastly, it has emphasized by Luz and company that poor road infrastructure and high logistics costs hinder farmers from reaching broader markets efficiently. Supply chain mapping and optimization strategies also were included here, where some studies from all over the world have been very much a highlight in some of the research. Chen et al. Proposed using geographic information systems or GIS and predictive analytics to optimize the agricultural supply chains. So these methods have been successfully implemented in strawberry producing regions of the US and Japan. And in the same manner that Kurma and Sharma highlights the benefits of AI-driven uh, demand prediction tools in aligning strawberry production with market needs, reducing excess supply. And lastly, a research by Santos and Villanueva suggests that investing in processed strawberry products such as jams, dried fruits, can mitigate wastage and increase profitability. In that sense, the research gap in study relevance is despite the existing literature on agricultural supply chains, there's a limited research focuses on mapping and optimizing the strawberry supply chain in CAR using integrated GIS and forecasting models. So this study addresses this gap by proposing a data-driven multi-phase approach to enhance efficiency, reduce waste, and of course support smallhold farmers. The objectives here, just like what I shared with you, team, we have here a two-phase study. So the first phase would be the mapping of the current supply chain of strawberries in car to markets, wherein the objectives of this would be to map the existing strawberry supply chain in car using GIS. The second one is to analyze the causes of post-harvest losses and waste. And number three would be to evaluate the economic and social impact of supply chain inefficiencies. On the other hand, the second phase of the research proposal would be optimizing the strawberry supply chain market in car and to markets, wherein there will be recommendations for waste reduction and market efficiency. We have four objectives here. The first one would be to develop strategies for reducing overproduction related waste. Number two would be propose enhancements in storage and transportation. The third one would be identification of market diversification strategies. And number four, to recommend policy interventions and stakeholder collaboration frameworks. So this is the framework that I had in mind, wherein for the first one, we have here the phase one is mapping, where the key components would be the supply chain stages, the stakeholder roles and challenges, as well as the bottlenecks and wastage points. The research approach would be for the mixed methods and of course the spatial analysis. The second one, the optimization part would have key components such as efficient logistics and infrastructure, market diversification and value addition, and government and policy support. While the research approach with this would be time series forecasting, simulation and predictive modeling, and we can also include policy impact assessment. So now, for the phase one, we have here for our research design, for the research design, this is more of a descriptive and exploratory research. Wherein for data collection methods, this would be more on, for the qualitative and quantitative data, we will employ interviews, surveys, focus group discussions with experts, and more so with, of course, the farmers and stakeholders involved. The data analysis of this would be more on thematic analysis, supply chain mapping, and flow charts. And of course, we still employ the descriptive statistics. On the second phase of the program or the research would be applied and analytical research, wherein the data collection methods would be from the market data. We can also include industry studies and LGU data. And in here for the data analysis, I will be leaning towards time series forecasting for forecasting methods. Also includes Google Maps API for the optimization of the roadmaps or for the recommendation. And lastly also including linear programming. The potential impact of this study is for the first phase, implementing GIS in the strawberry supply chain allows for better route planning, ensuring faster transportation and minimizing delays that contribute to spoilage. Identifying high waste areas helps in allocating storage and processing facilities efficiently, ultimately reducing post-harvest losses and increasing profitability for farmers. And the second one is GIS mapping provides real-time insights into production patterns, demand trends, and market accessibility. This enables policymakers and stakeholders to implement strategic interventions such as targeted infrastructure, investments, and of course, coordinated supply-demand management. This fosters a more resilient and sustainable strawberry industry in CAR. So that's it for my proposed study. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll now proceed with the Q&A session.
Okay, panel member, do you have any question or recommendation?
Dean?
Sino po mauna? Maybe
Or,
Dr. Ay,
ayan, si Dean.
Dean. Okay.
So, good evening.
Good evening, Dean.
Chinek ko kasi yung tracker. Sino yung advisor mo?
My advisor would be Dr. German po.
Ma'am Herman. Okay.
Yes po.
Sige. Kasi nakita ko batch 2022 ka. So, at least, then, chinek ko rin yung Scopus. Wala ka pang publication.
Wala pa
So,
po.
double time ka na lang doon.
Yes po.
Tingnan mo kung anong ano. Ah, hindi ko lang alam kung may undergrad na advice si Ma'am Herman. If meron, pwedeng mag-collab ka na lang doon para if ever,
Ngayon po, Dean, wala.
wala. Oh.
Wala ngayon.
Anyway, sa darating na 2025, yung incoming na master students, baka may advice si Ma'am Herman doon. Makipag-collab ka na lang.
Sige po,
Oh,
better if in case.
para at least hati kayo nung publication. Oh. Based doon naman sa ano, parang interesting yung topic. Strawberry supply chain. Yun lang, concern ko lang yung publication mo.
Yes po. Actually, yan na rin po yung sinabi ni Dr. German before dun sa, kasi since wala pa pong paper na na-publish, parang hinati niya na po yung pinapost ko po na topic wherein the first paper would be more on the identification and mapping, and the second paper would be on the policy recommendation. Parang ganun po yung sinabi niya. So mapping and optimization. Siya po yung may idea ng two-phase approach nung paper para if in case mas makakreate ng paper in a dun sa time period po na 2 sem, tapos makapag-apply for publication po kung sakali.
Sige. Yun lang on my own.
Thank you po.
Dr. Ong?
Hello, good evening.
Hello po, Doctor.
Hello. So based sa explanation mo din, no, kasi similar din yung question ko kay Dean. I would suggest na because you plan to collect like quantitative and qualitative data, more on the qualitative aspect sana yung unang paper, and then mag-build up ka ng policy implications and strategies from there. Tapos
Okay.
yung second part, which is yun na meron ka ng na-collect din. I mean, aside from the qualitative aspect na yung mapping din, no? So para
Yes po.
medyo andyan yung novelty tsaka yung bigat sa first paper. And then the second
Yeah.
one, because you will be collecting data and then you will be building up linear programming, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe the application after the optimization is to reflect on the mapping from the first paper, pero not to the point na present din siya dun sa second paper. If it could be restructured para part siya ng optimization process, and then from there, you build up implications para the two paper would be heavy individually. And meron siya talagang contribution.
Yes po. That makes sense po, Dr. Ong.
So, yun yung sa part ko. And I would say na interesting din siya. Maybe yung isang highlight siguro yung spoilage, if you want to consider that. Kasi every time may available na produce ng strawberries, the problem is mabilis siyang ma-spoil. So maybe that's
Sobra po.
so that's maybe like another reason kung bakit kailangan yung optimization to reduce the oversupply and so on.
Yes po.
Oo. Kasi nasasayang talaga siya sa market. Ayun.
Yun nga po eh. Yung last time po na nung pumunta pa ako sa strawberry farm, parang in-interview ko po yung isang farm holder doon. Parang 3 days lang po yung maximum po ng 3 days usually yung freshness ng strawberry before siya mag-markdown ng price sa market. Kaya parang dun po ako na pwede natin gamitin ng SCM for, of course, for optimizing this situation kung sakali.
And I think like mabilis din siyang mag-ripe. Once it starts ripening,
Yes,
mabilis na siya mag-ripe. And aside
rapid siya.
from sa i-market mo siya, so parang prior pa lang talaga, nandyan na yung spoilage aspect. So
Yes po.
maybe that could be considered as a constraint as well. Yun.
Frightening. Okay po.
Kasi it would really play a big role sa overall model. Yun. Ayun lang on my end. And sana makita ko yung paper.
Yes po, of course.
Ayun.
Thank you, Dr. Ong. So for me, uh, ay, say Sophia, wait lang. For me, the paper is good. May novelty, especially if you will be integrating the GIS. Meron kang access sa GIS?
Currently po, ang nilulook ko na application is yung QGIS, which is free po. Tapos,
Hmm.
Google My Maps po, meron din pong parang option for it. Pero, I'm exploring options po, Doc. Clint.
Mm. Kasi yung mga friend ko sa UP, nagagamit sila ng GIS sa ano ata Los Baños ata or Diliman, meron silang software. And I don't know sa
Hmm,
Baguio if meron sila. So gumagamit sila noon para yun nga sa mapping. Usually gumagamit yan yung nagsusustainability and ano ba? Yung sa mga ano ng
yes
rice.
po.
Sige, yan. And then yun nga na nag-present ka ng different techniques and approach. Maybe you can talk to your advisor for your first paper or your thesis. You can choose maybe 2 or 3 approach from them. Kasi pagka
Okay
in-integrate mo
po.
na yun, baka mahirapan kang i-run yun. Okay? I think yun na naman yung sa akin. Thank you and congrats.
Thank you po.
Okay.
Oh,
So, yun lang.
by the way, before
Ay,
before ka go
yes po.
into your thesis, I would suggest na yung software and yung process for your methodology, mas detailed sana siya. Like
Okay
if
po.
it's an interview, so sana yung interview questions nandyan. And then for quantitative analysis, ano yung data na i-collect, and then anong software na gagamitin per different analysis. Ayun lang. Okay, again, congrats. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
po.
Bill. Okay.
Congrats.
Congrats. You can leave the chat now. Sophia, can you share your
Hi,
screen?
sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'll share my screen first po.
Okay. Ay, sinend ko po pala sa group yung grading sheet para right after ipasok ko na po kaya din ka parang. And then can you open your camera for the recording kasi? Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good
Hello.
evening po.
Yes.
So,
Good
see
evening.
my screen now po.
Medyo choppy ka. And then can you
Ano, hello po.
Hello? Can you hindi naka full screen yung ano mo. Yan, okay na. Okay, you can start.
Hello po. Can you hear me na po?
Yes, we can
And
hear you.
can you see
Kaya lang
me?
medyo choppy.
Ah, wait lang po connection.
Okay,
Wait
sige.
lang po.
Okay.
So, first off, I'm Sofia Crisologo. I'm currently in my last, this is my comprehensive exam in parallel with my advanced optimization techniques 1. So for my research proposal for the practicum, so this is entitled Road to Net Zero, Call for Sustainability for Nestle Plants in the Philippines. So, for the abstract, this research paper evaluates Nestle's sustainability initiatives in the Philippines, highlighting their alignment with the Net Zero program and the NREP, or National Renewable Energy Program goals. This is the program of the Philippines when it comes to the net zero or the sustainability program in the long run up to 2050. So this paper discusses the development of a process improvement program guided by Nestle Continuous Excellence. So this is the process improvement technique that Nestle uses. This is announced naman po in public. So the role of corporate responsibility in addressing climate changes, challenges faced in implementation, and the need for collaboration between the private sector and government to achieve national energy objectives and promote sustainability. So for the introduction, the definition of climate change, no, i-start ko lang po dun. So long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns influenced by natural phenomena and human activities, particularly fossil fuel combustion. And as for the UN response, it has been incorporated into a sustainable development goal, particularly the UN Developmental Goal number 13, aiming to limit global temperature rise to below 2 degrees Celsius. So for the Philippine program, so the Philippines initiated the National Renewable Energy Program. This is developed by NREB or National Renewable Energy Board to align with the UN Sustainable Developmental Goals. And this aims to accelerate renewable energy development and reduce fossil fuel dependence, mitigating greenhouse gas emissions. So basically, we have this program is the movement para makapag-transfer or ano po tayo sa renewable sources such as solar, hydro, biomass, and geothermal energy. So this program sets ambitious targets for increasing renewable energy share in the energy mix. And this emphasizes also public and private partnerships and encourages investments in renewable energy projects. So when it comes to the Nestle Philippines initiative, so since this is a private company, so we have a commitment to achieving net zero emissions through various programs aligned with sustainability goals and environmental policy. So these include the renewable energy usage, the sustainable packaging, water management, waste reduction, continuous improvement practices, environmental management system, which focus on creating shared value. CSV is what we call also the CSR, yung wait lang po. Pakikipag-cooperate and coordinate po ng private entity to the public and to the community po. So, sa pag-integrate sa pag-implement ng net zero program, the Nestle uses the Nestle Continuous Excellence or NCE, adopted as a framework for optimizing manufacturing processes. It aims to enhance operational efficiency, reduce waste, and foster a culture of continuous improvements. So basically, this is the technique na pinagsama-sama ng Nestle na such as yung mga Lean Six Sigma, yung mga DMIC, yung mga solutions for the waste management program, not just in the sustainability program, but also in the sa processes and systems po. So this supports effective and sustainable solutions, aiding in achieving net zero targets and minimizing environmental impact. Ay, sorry po, maliit. So, hindi ko po na-edit. Pero for the research objectives, i-zoom ko lang. So the objective of this research paper is to conduct a comprehensive analysis of Nestle's sustainability initiatives in the Philippines. So the focus areas are as follows. So identifying specific strategies employed by Nestle, assess challenges faced during implementation, extract valuable insights from these efforts. And the goals of this study is to analyze the effectiveness of sustainability initiatives, highlight the role of corporate responsibility in addressing climate change, promote sustainable development. And for the expected result of this paper, this paper should be able to provide significant insights to the broader discourse on sustainability sustainability practices within the food and beverage industry and offer guidance for future initiatives aimed at enhancing environmental performance. So for the conceptual framework of this study, so basically this Nestle Net Zero target should have been able to impact these six aspects, which is the industry impact, sustainability initiatives, principles of Nestle continuous excellence, outcomes and implications, corporate responsibility and climate actions, national renewable energy program. So basically, this conceptual framework is also produced the hypothesis of this paper. So the Nestle Net Zero target should be able to impact these 6 items as that you can see on the screen. So number 1, effectiveness of sustainability initiatives. Number 2, employee engagement and process improvement. Hypothesis 3, alignment with national goals. Hypothesis 4, challenges and barriers. Hypothesis 5, collaborative efforts and outcomes. And hypothesis 6, industry impact. So for the methodology that will be used during for this paper, so this should focus on the literature review and alongside with the data collection for the quantitative and qualitative and thematic analysis. For the literature review, also with the data collection, which is the qualitative, we will focus on getting the numbers, the metrics of the sustainability program since the Nestle Philippines had already implemented this since 2021. So we should be able to see the outcome, the impact in terms of the environmental impact, the effect on the contributors, and the effect on the corporate system as well. So as for the qualitative, I will use the survey method, so which also contributes to the result of the thematic analysis. So yung focus ko nito ay yung kung ano yung major impact so that makapag-provide siya ng future solutions in terms sa mga contributors nito, such as yung stakeholders, the operators na involved during the process of the implementation of the sustainability program. If it is not only na effective ito sa output or sa community, but also effective ito sa loob ng community ng Nestle. So yun po yung magbubuo sa thematic analysis and the quantitative data collection results po. So that's all on my side po. So thank you very much po.
Thank you, Sophia. We're now open for the Q&A. Sino po mauna?
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Si Dean na lang.
Good evening, good evening.
Evening po.
Kaya confirm ko lang, based kasi sa tracker ko, ang advisor mo si Dr. Carlos pa rin? O iba na?
Yes po, siya po.
Si Ma'am Bing. And then, ayun nga, batch 2022 ka rin no?
Yes po,
So, dalawa yung publication requirement. So, ano ba yung problem bakit throughout the courses mo kahit isa walang publication?
Nag-IEEE na yan din.
Meron ka na ba?
Sa Thailand, hindi pa lang na i-index din.
Hindi pa na-index.
Opo.
So, meron ng isa. Okay.
Yes.
Sige,
Yes,
sige.
po.
So,
Yes,
at least meron ng isa. So, nothing to worry na. Kasi yung kanina, wala kahit isa eh. So, yun na naman yung concern ko. Okay, so tama ba na ito? Sige, sige. Yun lang. Wala naman akong ano. Go, Arvin.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you po, Dean.
Ayan. So, for this one, i-consider mo ba to for your thesis na?
Yes po, Sir Arvin. Bale, I'm planning also na maisama po ito sa publication din po.
Oh, were you able to submit other works already?
Previously po, yes po, alongside with Dr. Clint po. So the previous IEM po na program, I have already submitted one po.
Hindi, aside from the publication, already, I mean, aside from the conference that you have presented, do you have like another one which you submitted as well?
Wala
Or
pa
inaantay mo to?
po ngayon.
Okay, inaantay mo to. Do you have like yung design component nung study, anong part siya lalabas for the current one that you're presenting? Like, would you be building sa implication part ba or theoretically grounded?
Based po sa nakikita ko po, theoretically grounded since ongoing pa po kasi yung implementation ng program ng Nestle since may mga ongoing projects pa po. So, theoretical sa result, pero yung as I have mentioned earlier po, yung hihingi po ako ng feedback. So, that is progressive naman po yung result na nakikita ko.
I would suggest na once you, kasi sa thesis mo rin to, no, na once you are able to collect the data and analyze the data both on the quantitative and qualitative aspect, maybe you could provide like a benchmark or a framework na yung flow, yung susundan ng company or ng industry.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can provide two areas, one for generic na similar industry and one for Nestle for your thesis na mismo. So yun lang yung sa suggestion ko.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you po, thank you. Doctor?
So, yeah, on my side naman, since parang on my point of view, medyo broad yung program ni Nestle with regards to continuous excellence. Maybe you can focus on one area or may scope ka sana. I-define mo na lang yung scope mo dun sa study mo. If yan na pala yung gagamitin mo sa thesis. And then you can consult with Ma'am Bing with regards to the progress of your paper. I think yun lang naman yung for me.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you po, thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Salamat.
Congrats.
Thank you.